Yes, friends, you can receive a new $1,682 relief payment very soon. A monthly benefit increase to all Social Security recipients is also finally on the way, and millions of low-income households, SSI, SSDI, and RRB beneficiaries are now eligible to claim a new monthly relief payment. This extra relief money has been approved by the Social Security Administration and congressional lawmakers. President Biden is also pushing for a new plan that would help so many seniors and retirees this year. Congress is making huge progress on this. So friends, please make sure you watch until the end of this video, because I will be bringing you up to date on these new Social Security information. And to say thank you, friends, for joining me here every day when I post a video. I'm giving away 4 $75 Walmart gift cards every week. Please enter the giveaways by clicking and liking several of my videos, and also commenting below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways.
How consumers are paying more for less reliable energy as a result of the policies of the Biden administration and congressional Democrats. North Dakotans are paying 60% more for gasoline since January of 2021, and diesel remains at nearly $5 a gallon. Now, prices are high because we have a supply problem. Our friends and allies in Europe are facing an even worse supply crisis, and unless the Biden administration changes its approach, American families and businesses will continue to face these inflationary pressures. Fortunately, the solution is clear. More energy supply means consumers pay less. More supply is what helps us get prices under control, get inflation under control, and consumers relief. In 2019, the U.S. was producing nearly 13 million barrels of oil a day. Today, that production is down at about 11.8 million barrels a day. That's because the policies of the Democrats in Congress and the Biden administration include blocking energy production on federal lands, and that's curtailing supply. Our vast supply of taxpayer-owned oil, gas, and coal resources on federal lands are a national strategic asset. Yet President Biden and his, quote, keep it in the ground, end quote, allies treat our energy reserves as a liability. Recent analysis by the Wall Street Journal shows that the Biden administration leased only 130,000 acres for new oil and gas production in the first 19 months of its administration. Let me repeat that number. The Biden administration has only leased 130,000 acres for new oil and gas production in its first 19 months. For comparison, President Reagan leased 47.6 million acres during the same time period. Biden administration, in just under 2 years, 130,000 acres leased. Reagan administration, 47.6 million acres leased during the same amount of time. That's the point. We need to take the handcuffs off our producers if we're going to produce more energy here at home. And nobody produces energy better, more cost effectively, more dependably, and with better environmental stewardship than America. We do the best job of anybody in the world. New energy leases are needed to grow oil production and supply for the long term. Otherwise, production will continue to fall, and that means higher energy costs.
Friends, here is some very important news for Social Security recipients. There are just 5 days remaining before beneficiaries of supplemental security income receive the second half of their September payment. Recipients will receive payments of $841 on September 30th, bringing the monthly total up to $1,682 due to a scheduling quirk in the program. Additionally, eligible Americans who live with an SSI beneficiary will receive a second payment of $421 on September 30th. But friends, the second check is not extra money, as a maximum check that one can receive in 2022 is $841 a month. However, due to a scheduling conflict, September is one of 3 months this year in which SSI recipients will receive 2 SSI checks. The other 2 are April and December. Beneficiaries will receive no payment during the month of October. Payments for SSI generally take place on the first day of each month. But for this year, the first day in January, May, and October are either on a holiday or a weekend. So the agency relies on double payments to offset the scheduling issue. The agency makes 12 payments a year. SSI is a means-tested program that provides payments to the elderly, blind, and disabled who have next to no income. According to CNBC News, the average payment that one receives is $624. The SSI program was first created in 1972. Some members of Congress have sought to bolster the program, arguing that it is rife with outdated rules on income and assets. CNBC News reported that on average, most recipients have incomes within 150% of the federal poverty level. Some U.S. states supplement SSI to boost payments to beneficiaries. But friends, some retirees could receive a 5% raise in the future if the president has his way. The Social Security Administration is scheduled to make the big announcement in mid-October. Predictions vary as to the exact size of the upcoming cost of living adjustment, but will most likely and certainly be the largest increase in over 4 decades. If President Biden could have his way, some Americans could be in store for even greater Social Security benefits in the near future. President Biden wants to give an extra Social Security increase to one group of retirees. Americans can boost the amount of their monthly Social Security checks by holding off until the full retirement age or until age 70 to start receiving the benefits. Once the checks begin to flow, the only way those Social Security benefits will grow is through the annual COLA. President Biden wants to change this situation for some individuals. He campaigned for U.S. president on a plan to provide higher Social Security benefits for the oldest Americans. Biden would like to increase the monthly checks for retirees who have received Social Security benefits for at least 20 years. Actually, the higher benefits would be phased in a little sooner under the president's proposal. A 1% increase in the primary insurance amount would start in the 16th year of receiving Social Security benefits and continue through the 20th year. Primary insurance amount is a benefit that an individual will receive if the person began drawing retirement benefits at the normal retirement age. But according to some economists, the concern is that these individuals are more likely to exhaust their other retirement savings and potentially fall into poverty. Friends, the keyword for this video is Jenny Lake. If you would like to enter tomorrow's Walmart gift card giveaway, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below this keyword, which is Jenny Lake, and additional keywords of any video of mine that you watch. And do make sure, friends, that you are subscribed to my channel. Remember, the more videos that you comment on, the more likely your chance of winning these Walmart gift card giveaways. Now, Indiana residents could also soon receive tax rebates, totaling up to $325 for individual filers and $650 for joint filers. Back in August of this year, the Indiana State Legislature passed an additional rebate of $200 for individual applicants and $400 for those who filed jointly. That came on top of the $125 and $250 rebates for single and joint filers that were slated to take place under the state's automatic taxpayer refund system for 2020 tax filers. Over 1.5 million of the first round of automatic refunds were sent out and worth over $254 million, according to the state's Department of Revenue. By August 16th, almost 1.5 million direct deposit refunds for the additional rebate had been doled out, totaling over $403 million. Well, my marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Sunday. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me here every day, especially when I post a video. I appreciate all of you for joining me here. Tomorrow, I'll be announcing a winner for the Walmart gift card giveaway, so please remember to stay tuned for that video. Thank you, friends, and have a wonderful and blessed weekend.
Costs for our consumers. Instead of defending previously held lease sales, instead of defending previously held lease sales, the Biden administration is relying on litigation from environmental allies to block permits needed for energy development. This only further increases our reliance on adversaries like Russia, Iran, and Venezuela, countries with little or no regard for environmental stewardship, human rights. They're our adversaries. How in the world can we put ourselves subject to their energy production? Energy production is part of national security. Energy security is national security. Natural gas prices also remain high, and families are being hit with higher utility bills. Electricity prices are up nearly 16% compared to last year. And as we approach the winter months, natural gas bills are up 33% over the same period. And with winter coming on, they're going to go up more. The Biden administration's policies are undermining our energy security, and because the cost of energy is built into our entire economy, inflation has been driven to record heights. Everything you buy has an energy component in it. When energy costs go up because the administration won't let us produce more here at home, it causes inflation in everything you buy. Everything you buy, not just at the gas station, but in the grocery store or anywhere else, because of the energy component. Despite these challenges, President Biden and congressional Democrats doubled down by passing their partisan tax and spend bill that will make it more expensive to produce energy in the United States. The bill includes a new tax on natural gas. Well, that doesn't make natural gas cheaper. That doesn't make energy cheaper. That makes it more expensive. The bill includes a new tax on natural gas, and it also makes oil and gas production on federal lands more expensive through higher fees and royalty rates. So they're driving up the cost of energy. In addition to levying $739 billion in new taxes on hardworking families, the bill was loaded with $370 billion in Green New Deal spending. Instead of tax hikes and wasteful spending, President Biden needs to take the handcuffs off our domestic energy production. Instead of higher taxes and fees, more mandates, and less energy development, we need to take the handcuffs off our domestic energy producers to lower energy costs and help reduce the burden of inflation, which harms every American, but particularly those low-income Americans who are struggling with the higher cost of everything from putting food on the table to gas at the pump to anything and everything they buy. We need to change this policy direction, Mr. President, and it needs to happen now. With that, I thank you, and I yield the floor.
In over a decade, and so that is important. That's why the Inflation Reduction Act was so critical in dealing with, that's going to deal with lowering costs, that's going to deal with that $300 billion, going to deal with reducing the deficit, which is important, which is now that $1.7 trillion deficit that we have seen under this president in the past 19 months. 380 billion was done last year, and so this is important as well. It's important for the president, but he's going to continue to do the work. But we want to say a couple of things that we wanted to share is, like, you saw the new data on Friday that showed prices came down nationwide last month and personal income went up. So that is a sign of inflation that is easing. And latest headline CPI inflation was flat. Prices in the aggregate had no increase versus the prior month. And this morning we learned, and yesterday morning, Friday morning, we learned that consumer sentiment is up 13% since July, and 1 year inflation expectation dropped nearly 0.5% from the month before. We have more work to do. We understand that. We know that there are families and Americans who are still feeling the pain, and we're going to continue to do the work to do.
Disagree with Senator Warren.
Well, we're just saying that This is something that the Federal Reserve is going to, we don't want to step on, what the Federal Reserve is going to do. Our goal is to keep bringing